it's Adrian, welcome to my channel. It's October, and that means there are 3 months left of the year. Where did 2017 go? If anybody knows, please tell me, because it's just gone. There are 3 months left, and it feels like yesterday was Christmas. Anyway, because there are 3 months left, it's time for a quarterly reading challenge. So today, I'm here to bring you quarterly reading challenge number 4 for 2017. I'm very excited about this one, especially because I did pretty well in my last quarterly reading challenge. Speaking of which, let's start off with my quarterly reading challenge check-in from last time. Last time I had 3 challenges. The first one was to read books from the library. I set myself to read at least 4 books and didn't read 4 books because I went on vacation to the States and I didn't end up going to the library there. So it just wasn't possible. I did read 2, and I read them both in the first month of the challenge, so you know how things go. But the first one I read was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This was a book that I read for the International Buddyathon, and it was my reader recommends book from Julie from Pages and Pens. She was my international buddy. She recommended that I read this one, and I did, and it was fantastic. I really loved it. It was 4 stars. If you're interested in any of my opinions on these books, I'll leave all the wrap-ups down in the description box below so you can go check them out. I'm not going to talk about them here because I've already talked about them, and that would be a very lengthy video. The next book that I picked up and read from the library was Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. This was my first Colleen Hoover book, and I really enjoyed it. It was total trash, total garbage, but totally a guilty pleasure book. I enjoyed it. I'm allowed to enjoy them. Colleen Hoover books, either you love them or you hate them. I've only read 1 so far, and I really loved it. I gave this one a 4 stars. The second reading challenge that I set for myself was to read middle grades, because in my second quarterly challenge, I challenged myself to read children's classics, and I liked it, so I wanted to pick up some more middle grades. And I read 4 middle grade books. The first 2 I did as audiobook with my children. The first one being The BFG by Roald Dahl. I ended up giving this one a 2.75. I wasn't a huge fan. The next one, I gave Roald Dahl another chance and reread Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as audiobook. This one was a little bit better. I gave it a 3 stars. Again, it was good. It's an average book, but it wasn't my favorite. I think I might just not be a Roald Dahl fan. And then I read Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I was kind of considering not adding this book onto my list, but I did read it. So it does count as a middle grade, and it's huge, so come on, gotta give me some kind of credit. This one got a 5 stars. I like this one. This one still is my favorite. My favorite Harry Potter remains to be Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I can't help it, it's just got a special place in my heart, but I did enjoy this one. Still a 5-star book. And lastly, I read The School for Good and Evil, A World Without Princes by Sinan Chani. This is the second book to the School for Good and Evil series. Again, middle grade. Middle grade just isn't my thing, I think. I think I have an issue with middle grade. I would love to love middle grade, but I'm just not having any luck. This one got 2.5 stars. I should have known, because I didn't like the first one for middle grade. I enjoyed the first one more than I enjoyed this one. The first one I gave 4 stars as an adult. If it was for middle grade, it would have a 2.5 stars as well. But reading it as an adult, I gave it a 4 stars. This one I give 2.75 stars because I found it both confusing for teenagers and for myself, for that matter. I didn't like it. I talked all about this in my September wrap-up. So if you want to hear more about that or my opinions on the first book, you can go check those out. I'll leave both links in the description box below for you. But not a big fan. Last quarter was also the first quarter that I set myself 3 challenges. Before that, I've only been setting myself for 2 challenges. So my third challenge was to complete at least 1 series. Now when I started this, I had no idea about Sequel September, and I just did Sequel September, so this really helped me. I didn't finish that many series, but I definitely continued on with some series, with some second and third books that I was just putting off. But I finished a trilogy, and I started and completed a duology. First up, I finally completed the Mistborn series. In this quarter, I finished The Well of Ascension and The Year of Ages. You all know by now The Year of Ages took me almost 3 months to finish, but that's neither here nor there. I loved the series. I am a Brandon Sanderson fan, especially because he has a way of crafting endings like no other. His books are definitely books that you need to process more. They're not light, fluffy reads. They're definitely high fantasy, but so good. If you have not read them, go read them right now. And lastly, I started and completed the Unraveling duology that contains Unraveling and Unbreakable by Elizabeth Norris. I have a series review for this one as well that I just put up a couple weeks ago, so if you're interested, you can go check out that for more of my thoughts and opinions. The first book I really loved. The second book I wasn't such a fan of. First book I gave a 4.5 to 5 stars. Second book a 3.5 stars. So the second book was still good, just didn't live up to the first one, and it was a little more unbelievable than the first one, but I've talked about that a couple times already, so if you want to know more, go check out the review. So that's it for my quarter challenge number 3 check-in. Let's talk about this quarter's challenge. For this quarter, again, I'm setting myself 3 goals. First up, I'm going to continue the complete a series challenge because I have a lot of open series that I just want to make some more progress on, and I want to complete, again, at least 1 series. There's not many series that I have just 1 book left of, so that's why I'm going to keep it at 1. I've been enjoying it. It makes me feel good to finally have a series checked off. I have a whole video on all the unfinished series that I keep referring back to that's kind of stressing me out a little bit, but I'm making progress on it and I'm very happy with myself. So I'm going to continue on that for this quarter. The second challenge that I'm going to set for myself is to read some seasonal books. This is my favorite season between October and December because you have the fall months, you have Thanksgiving, because you have fall and Halloween, you have Thanksgiving, and you have Christmas. I love Christmas, can you tell? So I'm going to read at least 3 seasonal books, whether that be a Halloween book, like a scary book, a more frightful book, whether it be a Thanksgiving book. Last year I did a whole Thanksgiving recommendations video. If you want to go check that out, I will warn you though, it was kind of in my awkward phase. So I might redo one this year, I might not. But anyway, I've been referring back to that to get some ideas for Thanksgiving books for this year. And obviously I want to read a couple Christmas books. I'm all psyched for Christmas. So this should be an easy challenge for me to complete. And because the 3 challenges worked out well this past time, I'm going to add a 3rd challenge again and see how it goes. This time I would like to read at least 2 new to me authors. I have hauled a massive amount of books in the last 2 months. I have so many books that I need to read. So I have lots to choose from. I should be able to pick at least 2. So that's it for this month's quarterly challenge. I know many of you are new here since my last quarterly challenge. So if you would like to do the quarterly challenges, by all means, please do. You can either go with my challenges or you can set your own challenges. I started this about a year ago so that I could branch out and away from the YA fantasy, and I have really learned to love several genres that I would not have otherwise picked up so easily without these quarterly challenges. So I have really appreciated them. I'm definitely going to be continuing with them next year. They're wonderful. They're a way to branch out. And you should do them too if you want. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you did. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.